I told myself it was just a brief escape, an attempt to recover a spark I thought had died. My husband, David, was kind and dependable, but our life together had become predictable. Suppers in silence, mornings heavy with fatigue, conversations that felt hollow. So when Ethan, an old flame, appeared with promises of passion and excitement, I gave in. I arranged a hidden trip with him, telling David I'd be away with friends. The moment I boarded the plane, I muted David's calls so nothing could intrude. Those days away were everything I thought I craved: extravagant dinners, reckless laughter, stolen kisses that made me feel alive again. With Ethan, I shrugged off the weight of vows, responsibilities, and the man who waited for me at home. Every night, I convinced myself it was harmless, that I'd return unchanged, with David none the wiser. Yet in quiet moments, guilt whispered. I smothered it, shutting off my phone, ignoring his worry, ignoring his love. For 7 days, I floated inside that illusion, while David sat alone in silence, unaware of where I had vanished. When the trip ended, relief mingled with dread. On the flight home, I switched my phone back on, bracing for missed calls and desperate messages, but there were none. I told myself he was restraining his anger, saving it for when I returned. Stepping into our house, I forced a practiced smile, pretending nothing had shifted. But something had. His shoes were no longer by the door. His coat wasn't draped across the chair. Even the faint trace of his cologne had disappeared. On the table lay an envelope, my name scrawled in his handwriting. My hands shook as I opened it. Clara, it read. I don't know where you went or why you shut me out, but your silence told me everything I needed to hear. A husband shouldn't have to beg for space in his wife's life. I waited. I worried. And I realized I deserve more than being pushed aside. By the time you read this, I'll be gone. I'm done waiting. Goodbye. The words cut deeper than any argument ever could. My chest tightened, my knees buckled, and I collapsed into a chair. I wanted to call him to explain, but deep down I knew the truth. My betrayal was exactly what he feared. Weeks slipped by without a trace of David. He ignored every call, every message, every letter. It was as though I'd been erased, left alone inside the ruins of our home. I had gambled devotion for a fleeting thrill, and lost everything. Ethan reached out, but I pushed him away. The flame I once chased now felt bitter and cheap. He was never my future. David was. And I had thrown him aside. Memories of his quiet love haunted me, the way he filled my gas tank, set the coffee each morning, steadied me when life grew heavy. Those small acts of devotion now mocked me. I had traded them for nothing. Friends asked why I seemed hollow, why my wedding ring was gone. I muttered that we had grown apart. But the truth was, I destroyed what mattered most. David walked away before I had the chance to beg. Months later, the divorce papers arrived, cold, clean, final. No accusations. No fury. Only his choice for freedom. Signing them was the final nail in the coffin of our marriage. At night, I still stare at his contact on my phone, wondering if I ever cross his mind. But I know I'll never hear his voice again, never see his steady smile, never feel the warmth of his love. That trip didn't just fracture us, it erased him from my life. Love isn't reckless passion or stolen moments. It's loyalty, respect, and trust. I lost David because I forgot that truth. And though the world keeps moving, my heart remains trapped in the silence of the man I drove away, who never looked back.